A very good morning, everyone. We have with us the Training and Placement Officer of Sardar Patel Institute of Technology with us. He is going to share his thoughts on the training and placement scenario in SPIT, and will also share his thoughts on the education scenario in India. He is a part of our Thoughts on Education program. And with this note, I would like to welcome Sir on our platform. Thank you so much for joining, sir.
Uh, Thank you, Priyansh. Good morning to everyone. Most welcome. I'm in to interact with you.
Right.
Anything regarding placement, yes, I'll be happy to share whatever I can.
Great, sir. So, sir, I will start with my first question of this interview. So, you have held key position at various education institutes throughout your career. So, I would just like to understand it. What keeps you connected with the education sector, and how has your experience been so far?
Great. I feel personally the youngsters, and especially youngsters of today, they carry a special aura with them, and that's full of it's full of knowledge and full of new things which we don't know. I mean, the older generation may not know. And I feel that yes, I can learn a lot from them, and learning this from them gives me more strength, more energy, and I feel motivated so that to be connected with them. That's how I look at it. Yeah?
Great, sir. Great. Sir, I would like to understand one more thing. So, you are the TPO at SPIT. What I would like to understand is, how do you ensure the proper training of your students to make them ready for the placement season?
Sure. We have we carry out we carry. I mean, we generally do the research to what exactly is expected by the industry, and we take a feedback from our recruiters. Similarly, we match it because we match it with the skill sets students have. Sorry. Now, students do have fine theoretical knowledge. They do not have professional knowledge, professional skills, and as well as the soft skills. So the most important thing is we make them industry ready in their professional skills, because that would make it easy for them, also easy for the recruiters to identify the suitable candidates. There are various ways to make them industry ready. First is find what's the technology expected by recruiters. So whether our students do have those skill sets, if they don't, we conduct trainings. And the training is generally conducted by either the seniors or by alumni who are already in the industry, or by industry experts. Industry expert means we request the recruiters, please depute someone so that who can guide them. This is one part of it. The second is we have provide them some platforms where they can do the self-practice, self-learning. We have signed MOUs with various such platforms like IBM Box. Then we have Barclays, we have Credit Suisse CSR training platform. These are three main which I can immediately recollect. So such platforms are provided. CodeChef is another one. So we provide them this so that they can do self-practice on that. These platforms conduct tests also and self-assessment, which helps students to know exactly where do they lack. And then accordingly, in case they need any special training in that area, we try to conduct those kind of training. Now, after these trainings, we try to do some mock tests as well as mock interviews, so that they get a feel of it. Yes, how is it going to be? How is the test going to be? How is the aptitude test is going to be? And how they are going to face the panel. And accordingly, even the group discussions are conducted. And wherever there's a lack in communication, which is noted, wherever we see that there is some shortfall, some gaps in the presentation, we do guide them. So this is, overall how we do this.
That's great, sir. Sir, I would like to understand. Is there some what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know currently?
Okay. Uh, Number one, complex. The college complex environment is beautiful. Central location, and secondly, a lot of greenery around. So it's the ideal location, open ground, lot of open areas, which is very rare in the city like Bombay. That's number one. Number two, we have excellent faculty who do take extra pain, hard work to mentor the students in the theoretical area. Third is, as I said, we provide them great mentorship by connecting them with the alumni who are working with great companies like Google, Apple, Intel, Microsoft, and these are the great companies where our alumni who are there, they provide one-to-one mentorship. That's a great thing, which is rare. We have started 6-month internship, which I think very few colleges give. We did have about 6-month internship in the 8th semester, but recently we are trying for 6 semesters, 6-month. So these are something extra which we see that they give good exposure to our students. There's another thing, we have a incubation center, technology incubation center in the campus, the same campus which I was talking. And this technology incubation center does motivate, does inspire students to become an entrepreneur. And for that, to encourage them for becoming an entrepreneur, what we do is we provide them with a deferred placement. That means, they can wait for some time once they start their venture. And if they feel that, yes, they are doubtful, they may not succeed, they want to go back for placement, we do help them. So these are the special areas where I feel that we stand out.
Right. That very well, sir. Sir, I would like to understand if you can please share with us the greatest strengths of SPIT.
I guess in the same lines, the strength is we have students' quality, and the students' caliber, and the students who we get admitted in the campus. They are the greatest strength for us, because they are the one who are going to be ambassador for SPIT when out of the and we ensure that we groom them suitably so that they show that yes, SPIT, we are from SPIT.
Right. So, sir, now that you have mentioned that the students are your ambassadors, and this is something we hear about from from every college, what I would like to understand here is, I would just like to get your opinion on this. That what do you think? Either they are either the students or the brand value that the SPIT has. Which of them helps in the in achieving the 100% placement mark? Is it the quality of the students or is it the brand value?
I feel it's the see, these are the students who create brand value. The seniors have created brand values, and it is helping the juniors, and which continues. This is a cycle. So like I give you a few examples. When students join and we get a feedback from some companies which says, sir, these so-and-so guys we selected, they are proving the diamonds for us. Okay. We get feedback like, sir, your students we found, they were even better than some students we got from IIT. This is what creates the brand value. And then it keeps on encouraging. When it encourages juniors, it encourages us. Yes, our students are really great. We try, we tend to help them more so that there's no gap in, any whatever is scope of improvement we try to. So there's no gaps.
Right. Great, sir. Sir, the students or the aspiring students who will watch this interview would really like to know about the placement process at SPIT. If you can please throw some light, what goes before the placement season and what goes after the placement season, what goes during the placement season. If you can please.
Yeah. Yes. See, as I said, we try to bring our student to a standard where they go for, the companies which are really well known. Okay. Well known, not in the sense that just the name, where the students can have a career growth, faster career growth, great, learning areas where they can get great to learn. And third would be the salary. So we give it at least the lowest importance to the money part. We focus students, we tell them, we guide them, please, first thing is to learn. And you identify an area of your passion and then see how much growth is there for career and how much you are going to learn. Accordingly, we also identify companies. As I said, we do research. And with that research, we identify these are the companies where our students would beat the skill set, the required skill sets. So our duty is to mentor them. Our duty is to help them so that they are groomed properly overall and then, are fit for joining. There's another area which we feel it's not only just the lectures which help them to improve their, employability or improve their grooming. We feel the mentorship is more important, and we try to focus on that. Wherever we can mentor them in whatever way, that helps them. Now, what we do is, as I said, we identify companies, and we identify companies in different, and we slot them. We identify them in various groups, like A category, B category, or whatever C category. It's not that the companies are category, but just it's the identification for us and for our students. So let's say a company is like with the CTC or the salaries 15 and above per year, and the company has got a good relationship, partnership with us. They have been continuously visiting us and selecting students, identifying students. They're always there to help us in whatever way we ask for, their lectures are sharing the technology. So if our relationship is good, so we give them the priority. Okay, fine. Please come over. We are starting the placement from these dates. Please select a date, immediately inform us so that we block the date. And accordingly, whosoever comes in that category, first invite them. And accordingly, depending on their comforts, we identify and give them the dates. After that is over, then we go to the second category. And then we got the same way, we invite them and tell them that that date's available. Please choose a suitable date and, inform us so that we block this. And accordingly, all the categories go one by one. Now the question comes, there is a challenge for us here because everyone wants to be the first one. All the companies, suppose A category, they would say, yes, give me the first date. But in these areas, generally some companies are very quick, very fast. Fine, give me this date 2 or give me second. Somebody says, no, give me 5th. So automatically they, get into some dates calendar, some calendar date, and we plan interviews. Right?
Right, sir. That was really an insightful, and that really gave us the view of how the process is.
I hope so.
Yeah. Sir, since we have talked about the excellent placements at SPIT and we talked about greatest strengths of SPIT, what I would like to understand is what are the biggest challenges that SPIT faces? And now this, I would like to understand the challenges in 3 terms. One for the SPIT in general, one for the placement season or for the placements in SPIT. The third one is for the higher education scenario or the higher education sector in general. If you can please throw some light on this.
Most challenges are balancing the academic load with the employability, with the placement preparation. That is the first challenge which students have, and this is what we observe. Because they simultaneously have the academic loads where there's a lot of submissions, practicals, exams, all those things are there. which is essential and must for all. Similarly, the grooming which is required for employability is a bit different than that, because that requires their presentation skills, their communication skills, their mindset, their attitude. Now that is a challenge. So that is where the challenge comes, where we have to train them. As a college, they are students and they come out with a lot of reasons. Oh, I was busy, summation, that summation hour. So we try to balance out. That's a big one challenge. Coming back to challenge from the university, challenge from recruiters. Recruiters are, as I said, everybody says, until I come, don't start the placement. I should be the first one, right? That's not practical. Because if we have 1 month or 2 month period for the placement season, we have to go as per whosoever, is ready, whosoever comfortable, and we will go ahead with that. So that's a challenge for us. Keeping everyone happy becomes very difficult. And at times, people get little unhappy. Then that's part of life, part of this profession.
Right.
That is the second challenge. And the third was, if you can repeat that, what was that?
Yeah, for the higher education in general.
Yes. Now, higher education in general, we do see that students are aspiring. Majority of our students, we have noticed, they like to go for higher education. Now, once they take a placement and offer, at some time, immediately before joining, they decide to go for higher studies. Now, that's a challenge. Sometime, even after joining 6 months or 1 year, they plan to leave for higher studies. Now, that becomes a challenge for us, because that's going to have impact the relationship between recruiters and us. So that's one thing about the higher studies. So what we do is we guide them. We tell them, by third year, you should be able to plan out what you want to do in life. Immediately placement or immediately higher studies. So accordingly, we request each and every student, we have mentorship counseling with, and we see how many students are really keen to go for higher study immediately after graduation. So there, if they need some internship, definitely help them with the startups so that they get a good idea, overall good idea of a industry. And then accordingly, they can apply to any university of their choice and showcase, yes, this is what I went. Similarly, we do arrange some sessions for them for higher education universities. And there are some counselors who do come for mentorship, and we invite them to help these students. We have kept some sessions in academics also, which help these students to go for higher studies. Some are, you can say, even languages. We have started with languages, different languages, so that if students are identified, they want to learn German, French, they can, join that.
Right, sir. Sir, this is going to be my last question of this interview. I would just like to understand if you can give any suggestions to the current youth or the aspiring student. That would be really great.
I always and keep on repeating this particular thing with all my students for last so many years. I say, remember a word which is called can. I can do. We can do it. And then I explain to them, why do I say this can? I say C is for communication. I tell them A is for attitude and N is for networking. So I tell them, remember these 3 words. Change your mindset. Change your mindset to communicate with respect. Give presentation, smiling face. Have networking, have relationship building. These are the areas which will pay you a lot in life. This is one word which I keep on telling all my students all the time, in addition to whatever we do. Every batch which comes, I say, you can do whatever you decide. For that, change your mindset and change so that your attitude is always positive, and believe in networking, relationship. That helps you a lot in life, wherever you.
That's really great, sir. I have heard people or I have heard dignitaries says, mentioning this sentence that you can, but you actually mentioned what can actually means. So that was really great. With this note, sir, I would like to conclude this interview. Thank you so much for joining in. This was really an interactive session, and this was, I personally got to learn so much from this. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Prajesh. Thank you. God bless you.